what's up? My name is Daniela and welcome to a new vlog. So I just had an appointment and then I stopped at my favorite cafe and I'm thinking about what I'm going to read this week because I finished a book on Sunday and haven't picked up the next one, so I will keep you posted. Alright, it is Friday, 6 p.m, so we need to catch up. So this week has felt a bit hectic. So to start off, on Monday and on Tuesday I did productivity sprints in the evening. So I started doing these sprints that I call super productive sprints, and it's just a slightly different format than what I was doing before. And these are 2-hour sessions and we do 4 25-minute sprints. So it is very focused on actually getting things done. I don't have a super set schedule for these right now, but they would be usually happening on Monday and Tuesday, depending on what my schedule is. And it is from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central European summertime. And my main motivation for doing these sprints is that I really wanted to get back into studying Spanish. So I'm mostly using the sprints for that, and it's been going so well. So I am going through this textbook, and I've had this textbook for maybe like 15 years and I never got past lesson 3. I think I've done like the first 2-3 lessons like 5 times. And now, like after only like 2 weeks of these super productive sprints, I'm already in lesson 6. So I'm just super happy about that. It's been so fun to get back into Spanish, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So in case you want to join these sprints, you can just tune in, have me in the background. I usually post a community post with the current schedule. So that was that. And then on Wednesday I had a doctor's appointment, and it was like really nothing major, but they did like a little bit of something and they gave me like a pain numbing injection. And they always give me headaches, sometimes even a migraine. I was very sleepy, very headachy for like the next day and a half. And then I was also working my side hustle on Wednesday evening. So I do like online teaching. So that was after work, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And all of that is to say that I only started a book last night, and I have started In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. So this is book 2 in the Love Light series. The first book is Love Light Farms, which is a Christmas book that I read not the last Christmas but the Christmas before that. I really enjoyed it. And then the next book in the series is a spring book, so this is perfect. It's on my spring reading challenge. And this series revolves around this Christmas farm, and in the first book we followed the owner and it was friends to lovers. And in this one the main character is like the main farmer, and then he had a one-night stand with a influencer who came to the farm to like evaluate them for a competition. They had like 2 one-night stands like 2 days in a row before she came to the farm. She left without saying goodbye, which is a bit rude, and now he's having like a attitude about it. I only got to page 22 yesterday, but it was a very interesting beginning. Like for one thing, like we jumped like immediately into a steamy scene, but it started with the flashback of them having the one-night stands. And then a few months later when she comes to the farm and they meet again, and he's like, huh, so you're a social media influencer. And like, yeah, it's giving me a vibe. Like he will have to prove himself to me. And then Evie has been unsatisfied with her life. I will do my best to finish this book by the end of Sunday, but I'm not going to be setting it as an official goal because I just don't have that much reading time. I do have reading time tonight, potentially, after I cook dinner. And then tomorrow I am working my side hustle again, so that is 9 to 5. And then 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm participating again in Neva's 24-hour sprint event. So that is my slot. So yeah, during that time I potentially will have time, but I will also have to do like some live stuff. And then on Sunday I'm signed up for a book swap that is at 3 p.m. So that's kind of like, I doubt I will be able to like focus much before that because like if I have an appointment like in the middle of the day, it like takes the whole day mentally. My actual stretch goal for this week was to do taxes, and there is still like a couple of more weeks to get it done, but I just got it done today. Yay! So hopefully everything will be approved and I won't be forced to fill out any more Kafkaesque forms. And so now I'm going to set some more fun goals than doing taxes for the rest of the week, and that is I really need to update myself and then you on the spring reading challenge, which is hosted by Victoria from What Victoria Read. I need to catch up on that. And the second goal is to update my reading spreadsheets for this year, or like bookish spreadsheets in general, because I haven't been doing that this year at all. So we are all set for the weekend and I will talk to you later. Alright, it is Sunday afternoon, so a bit of an update. Yesterday was intense because I was on a Zoom call helping to teach a course from 9 to 5, and then immediately, like literally from minute to minute, I was switching and opening my evening sprints, and that was like a switch in social context but also in the language. So the course was in Czech and then I switched to English. And yeah, I did that intro like completely on autopilot, and after a few minutes I realized that like I don't even know if I'm speaking the correct language, and yeah, I was very frazzled, but then both the course and the sprints went pretty well. I will leave the playlist of all of the people who participated in Niva's 24-hour sprint, so you can check them out. And I did read a little bit during the sprint, so I got to page 56 of In the Weeds. I don't have that many new thoughts. I will try to read tonight, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to get done. I also haven't done the spreadsheets, so... And today is just like a little bit busy because in like half an hour I need to have a snack and go to a book swap event, and today just has felt like I've been kind of like prepping for it the whole day, and I still need to decide on the books that I'm bringing there to swap, and my bookshelves definitely needs adjusting, so I was thinking that we might do like a really quick kind of dusting, reorganization and picking up the books, but I can't get carried away that much because I do only have like half an hour. But this month the book swap is like in the center, which is closer to me. Last time it was like across town, so that was worse. So at least I'm close to it, and yeah, should be fun. So let's just go pick the books. Okay, so I've done a really quick reorganization. In my rush I forgot to take before shots, but oh well, it was a bit of a mess. So I switched the sides, so this is now TBR plus rereads, and this is now read books. It used to be the other way around. I dusted everything and I picked 3 books. And originally I thought I was going to also do like an overall unhaul with some other books to bring like to a second-hand bookstore, but I decided against that because I do not have time for it. So this is it for now. It looks better, it fits well now. Obviously once I bring more books, possibly from the book swap, it won't fit that well, but you know, it's some sort of progress, and we will just pick this up maybe like next time. Okay, so my picks for the book swap, so the things I'm basically unhauling are The Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. So this is a book that I finished pretty recently, and this is Japanese fiction about a woman who's worked in the convenience store her whole life, but she's like in her late 30s, 36. That's not late 30s. And everyone keeps convincing her that she needs to get some other job, get married, all of that. I really enjoyed it. It is very short and it was a fun ride. And I actually got this book from the swap in January, the first time I went there, so I'm just going to be bringing it back into the rotation. The next one is a bit of a random one, but I've been thinking about unhauling this edition, and it is Not Again Abby by Jane Austen. So I read this one a couple of years ago, and this is a very random secondhand copy. I do have 2 other books in the Penguin Library Classics, like the green and orange. So I think like eventually one day I will be getting all of those, or maybe some other editions, but in either case this is a random edition, not really in a pristine condition, and I don't really need it right now, so I'm going to bring it to the swap. And this one I enjoyed, but it's not one of my favorite Austens. So like the first part is like gossip at the balls, and the second part is like parody of like gothic novels, and it takes place at some manor, and the main character gets kind of paranoid. And yeah, it was fun, but with Austen I really like the clever, witty female characters, and this one was just very naive. So I didn't really love that, but you know, it's still a good Austen. And the last book I'm going to bring there is the last book I finished, and that is The Falling in Love Montage by Kiara Smith. This is a young adult contemporary with a sapphic romance, and it is also very sad because the main character's mom has dementia. I liked it, but yeah, it was more sad than I expected. I definitely don't plan on rereading it anytime soon, so it can go to the swap. So I will do my best to do some more things today after the swap, like specifically reading in the spreadsheets, but we will see, and I will probably update you tomorrow. It is Tuesday, so let's have the previous week, shall we? So the book swap on Sunday went very well. I bought my books and people were interested in them, so that was good, because otherwise, like, if no one takes your book, you're supposed to take them home back with you, which I wouldn't like to do. So I was glad that people grabbed the book, and I also grabbed 2 books that I just like saw right when I walked in. I was like, okay, I'm tentatively going to grab these and we will see, but they ended up being the best choice. And other than that, I met some new people, I had some nice conversations, so I'm definitely glad I went. It's really a lovely monthly event. And the books I grabbed, so the first one is Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. So I don't know that much about this, but apparently it's some sort of like, you are in your 30s and everyone is doing their own thing and maybe you have some feelings about it. Yeah, I think it's like about, like, you know, life crisis. There seems to be a romance. Sometimes the books about women in their 30s aren't super relatable to me, because a lot of them are like, oh my god, I'm 30 something and I'm single and I don't have kids and I'm super unhappy about this. Whereas I'm in my 30s, I'm single and I don't have kids and I'm very happy about it. So, you know, but even though it's not super relatable, like, I do enjoy these books, and I don't know if this was the case with this book, so we will just have to see what this one is about. And then the second book that I grabbed was one that I wasn't sure I was going to read, but when it found its way to me like this, I decided to, you know, give it a try, because I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it or anything. And it's Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. So this is like a new adult steamy romance. They are both sports people. And yeah, I think it's like a enemies to lovers maybe, or like, yeah, it seems that there is some animosity between them at the beginning. And yeah, I'm curious to give this one a try. Okay, and about my goals that I have for the week, did I finish In the Weeds by Vicky Borison? You can see that I haven't, like, the bookmark is right there. So in the end I got to page 72, so I think since the last update I read just a little bit. yeah, I just didn't read that much this week, which is okay. The bit that I have read of this book still feels pretty like introductory, like we're getting into the scene, like they're meeting again after meeting for the first time, so not that much has happened actually. So I'm just going to carry this book into the next week, and hopefully I will finish it next week, we will see. But I did smash my other goals that I had. So the first one was to update the spring reading challenge bingo board. So in case you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a spring reading challenge hosted by Victoria from What Victoria Read. It is a beautiful bingo board, and it is going from March, April and May. So now, like theoretically, you could still take part because it's still going for the whole May. But in either case, I will leave Victoria's channel in the description, and definitely go and subscribe to her. And there should be another challenge in the autumn. So yeah, we always get this beautiful bingo board, and it's just a super low-key, chill reading challenge that you do in your own pace. And yeah, I really like it. So even though I haven't been updating the board, it was pretty quick to update it because I haven't finished that many books since March, but I have finished some. So this is the current state. So the books that I put there, so I put Infamous by Lex Croucher to the Flowers or Nature on the cover prompt. Then I put The Falling in Love montage by Kiera Smith to Match Your Drink to the cover, which is a fun challenge. So for this, I drink a lot of rooibos tea. The cover is kind of orangey, reddish, so that was the match. Then I put Sitting Pretty by Rebecca Tausig to Disabled Rep. Sitting Pretty is a non-fiction book. It is the author's memoir about her life with disability. Then I put Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson to the Match Your Outfit to the cover. And like this is like, you know, approved by Victoria and her lovely Discord, but the outfit matching was actually my pink nail polish that like almost perfectly matched the cover. So the lovely people there agreed that it could count because it was a good match. And then I put Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata to show this book on your TBR. So there are many different ways that I could have put the prompts to the board, even in a way that would allow me to be really close to hitting like one column or one row, but this was the original plan that I had. Like before the challenge started, I made a whole TBR with all of these prompts and the corresponding books. So for now I'm sticking to it, and maybe like if it's nearing the end of May and I see that I'm not hitting anything, maybe I will reshuffle to at least like hit a row and a column. But for now, this is the current state. And the other goal was to finally start tracking my books and other reading numbers for 2026. So I do have a spreadsheet, I just haven't started this year. So basically I'm continuing with what I already have, but I did update basically everything. So I have one tab where I just have the reads, and I track quite a lot of things about them. And then I have one tab where I have my whole physical and ebook TBR. I try to like play with the formulas there, and I don't have Microsoft Excel, I have LibreOffice, and I don't really like LibreOffice. I find it like hard to work with, and it kept like being confused about the date format, and it was a whole mess. So that took longer than I thought, but yeah, I have updated the books that I have hauled. And then I have one other tab that is just numbers, and it's like books read from my physical TBR, how many books I hauled, how many books I unhauled, how many books are on my physical TBR, how much I spent on books in that month. And then I also track like how many videos I uploaded and how many live streams I did. So the only tab that is not updated is my unhauled tab. But I can see that like the last record there was in August 2025. So obviously I kind of fell off the bandwagon with that one. So yeah, with these I might need to go back to my unhaul videos, because basically everything should be documented in my videos. Maybe I have unhauled like a book or two outside of the videos, but yeah, I don't really care about this right now, but other than that, my Bookish spreadsheets are finally up to date, which I'm very happy about. So that would be all for this vlog. It was a really busy week, a lot of things were happening, and then as a consequence not that many reading happened, but it's okay. Some of the next weeks should be better time-wise, even though like with the weather getting better and better, I will want to do fun things outside, but I still like should have more time in the evenings. But that will be all for this vlog. If you have any thoughts or comments, please leave them down below and let me know if you're participating in any reading challenges this spring. Like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel to see more content from me. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!